Hey, I'm Danny Brad, and welcome to my Raid Shadow Legends account. Today, we're going to be looking at Ice Golem's Peak, Stage 10 Hard, and see what team I use in order to clear this. So we've got Elva, Artak, we've got Renegade, Ghostborn, and Seer. We've got Renegade, Ghostborn, and Seer to clear the waves. We ideally want them to die on the Ice Golem, and then Artak and Elva are going to destroy the Ice Golem as quickly as possible. So if we look at the team setup, so Elva, obviously we don't have anything on her round one. Round two, we don't want to use her A2, which is the cleanse. And round three, we wanted to prioritize the cleanse. And I've got her turned off on the A3. I don't want to revive anyone because A, it will slow down the run. And B, when you revive someone that's got a lot of crit rate, because of how the Ice Golem works, what can happen is that they attack, they hit a critical hit on the Ice Golem, and he hits really hard, ignoring all defense, and can wipe out your team. So we're turning that off just so that we've only got Elva and Artak alive in that last stage. Artak, so round one, we're turning off his A1 and A2. Round two, turning off his A1 and A2. And round three, we're opening with his A1, and then we're prioritizing his A3, which is to place the burn, and the second choice of his A2, which is to explode the burn. Then we've got Renegade. Round one, she don't use anything. Round two, prioritize the reset, and then round three, it doesn't matter because hopefully she's going to die very quickly. Ghostborn, round one, prioritizing his A3. His A3 is very interesting because he's, I believe, the only person in the game that has an irresistible decreased defense for 2 turns. We only need it for one because as soon as it gets placed, hopefully Seer is going to strip it off. But will kill all the enemies from stripping off all the buffs. He also places increased attack, which obviously is another buff for Seer to strip. Round two, again, prioritizes A3, and then round three, we don't really mind because we're hoping that he's going to be dead. And then Seer, prioritizing Karma Burn and not using the A2, which puts an increased crit rate buff. The reason being that she'll, if you've not got the increased crit rate on, she seems to always want to lead with her A2. So we turn that off, lead with A1, A3. On round two, we then want her to lead with the A2 and put that buff on. And the reason being that Renegade only reduces the cooldown of the skills by 2 turns, which means we have to take a turn before the Karma Burn becomes active again, and then we're using the Karma Burn to then strip the buffs and destroy the round. And then round three, we don't want to use anything, just their A1, purely for the fact that hopefully again she's going to die, and then we're going to just leave Artak and Elva to destroy the Fire Knight. The Ice Golem. So this is the team. Let's show you the run, and then I'll show you the builds with the masteries and everything that I've got set up for this team. So it's quite a quick run. Round one, it goes, I think, within about 7 seconds. There we go, 6 seconds. Round one's cleared. Round two, again, it's very quick. We've got Ghostborn is in a shield set just to bring that extra buff for the round. This is where everybody has to have 2 turns. So there we go, second turn, and 20 seconds cleared wave 2. And then round three can take about 50 seconds. We've constantly got Artak placing those burns and then exploding the burns. So there we go, the burns go on, and then we're going to explode the burns. Obviously, all 3 burns are out there. So therefore, it's going to do 3 hits for the burns. And he's going to keep on going. It's also quite important with his A2 that he gets this decreased attack just to improve the survivability a little bit. Although Elva's going to keep him alive with these continuous heals that she keeps on placing on him, and the constant cleansing of all of the debuffs that actually land on him. So here we go. That's a big smack, and this is where the run can fail. But if we turn it off auto, we can then revive Artak and carry on. So it's not 100%. Like I say, if a crit hit goes on to the Ice Golem, it can fail, but it's very rare that happens. I've built Artak with as little crit rate as possible, so most of the time it runs, but there's always that slight chance of a fail. And here we go, still burning. I think it's about a 2-minute run in total with this team. I'm going to look at trying to do another team that potentially could be a bit quicker. I've got a few thoughts and ideas on that, but I thought I'd show you the team that I currently run, and this is how I've been getting through this stage up until now. So here we go, right at the end, last couple of hits, and the Ice Golem will be destroyed. But it just shows you the power of Artak and of HP burn, and especially when there's minions on there that Artak can use to increase the amount of damage that all those burns do. So let's go on to our champions, and we will show you all of the builds. So to start with, we've got Elva. She's currently in 1 piece protection, 1 piece of resilience, and 1 piece of defiant gear. So Defiant's quite important because obviously it reduces the damage taken by AoE attacks. So when the Ice Golem does that big slam, that damage mitigation can help her to stay alive. Her stats, we currently have her at 97k HP, 253 speed. I think building her faster could help this team just to make sure she keeps on cleansing Artak, so that he doesn't have the heal reduction on him, which can prevent him from healing. We've got her with no accuracy, no speed, because we don't really care about that. 4k defense. Her masteries, we haven't maxed them out just yet, but we've got pretty standard masteries for a defensive support champion. We've got her in Brimstone. That's probably what's causing a little bit of the problem with the Ice Golem, and why he sometimes gets that attack out. We've fully booked her as well. So next up, we've got Artak. We want to keep him alive, so we've got him in regeneration. We've also got him in some perception, just to give him a little bit more accuracy. So his stats is 87k HP. Ideally, we'd get that up. I think if we got that over 100k, we wouldn't have any fails in the run. 3.2k defense, again, anything over 4,000 would be ideal. 254 speed, and then lots of accuracy, so 418. I know that Artak can solo this, but you also need resistance of around 400 as well, and it can be quite hard to get all of the other stats in. I don't have the gear on my account to do it, and that's why I've got Elva on there as well, just to keep on stripping all of the debuffs that are on him and keep him alive and survive a little bit longer. And if the run is looking like it's going to fail, I can revive Artak with Elva. Ghostborn, we've got him in a shield set. We've removed his banner because he doesn't do any damage, but Seer is the one that's nuking all the waves. We've got him in a shield set for the extra buff, and we don't want him to survive on the dragon. So his total stats, 48k HP, ideally as low as possible. Defense of 2.2, again, want his defense as low as possible. 250 speed, just so that he's fast enough to get the buffs out. He's got to be faster than Seer. 151 accuracy, but the decreased defense can't be resisted, so we don't even need the accuracy on him. If you're using him in other areas of the game, I would potentially build him with a bit of accuracy, because he also, on his A1, does land decreased defense, and on his A2 has this heal reduction. So it depends on where you're using him. It can be quite beneficial to have a bit of accuracy on him. But like I say, on the A3, which is all we need him for the wave clear, it can't be resisted, so we don't need any accuracy. We don't have any masteries for him at the moment. We've not tried to. Again, I'm just using him in content where I'm using Seer, just in order to destroy waves, and so we want him to potentially die on every boss that he encounters. Then we've got Seer. We've got her in a Savage and Cruel set to ignore defense. So 25% from Savage, an extra 15% attack as well from Cruel, and ignore an extra 5%. So that's 30% ignoring defense. Her stats, we've just built her with 277 crit rate, 224 speed. The reason ideally we'd have her a little bit faster for things like Dragon, just because in wave 2 she has to get those 2 turns in before the wave gets 1 turn in, and sometimes one of the champions from the wave will get a turn, which isn't the end of the world. We can still clear the wave, but in an ideal world, it would speed it up if they didn't get to take a turn. We've got 204 accuracy. Again, accuracy can be nice if the enemy team does get a turn first because they put buffs up. We can strip those buffs as well, which add to her damage. We've got 4k attack. We don't need it because all of her additional damage comes from stripping buffs on her A3. So her A3 is based on enemy max HP and on the number of buffs that she removes when she strips them, and that increases the damage. We have her in Crushing Rend. We only have a 4-star, so we've got an extra 30% crit damage here as well, which is always quite nice. And all it does is it ignores a percentage of the target's defense, 1% for every 40 levels, which is what helps to do a little bit more damage as well. With the Masteries, we do have her in War Master. There is an argument to put her in Helm Smasher instead, but at the moment, this is how I've had her built for the last who knows how long, ever since I got her. So I might rework her Masteries just to make her a little bit stronger at some point. And then we've got Renegade finally. We're only using a 5-star Renegade because, again, we want her to die. It doesn't really matter what sets you've got in her. The only thing is we need her to be slower than Seer, but fast enough to get a turn in before Seer goes twice. So she needs to be more than half the speed of what Seer is. And none of the other stats matter. Again, I've got another one built that does have a bit of accuracy because in some areas it can be useful to use her A2. However, for this particular Renegade, I just want her to die after the waves. Masteries, we don't have any Masteries. We do have a fully booked. We haven't even put the Blessing on her because we don't want the extra HP from choosing any of these blessings. And that is my Ice Golem team. So let me know what you think. If you enjoy the content, please give me a like and subscribe. And happy raiding. Thanks for watching.